Okay, so we're just going to take ourselves onto the mat, nice and grounded through the feet. And we're just going to start super simple, just by shifting from side to side. Nice, simple way to mobilize through the feet. So if there's any restriction or tension being carried through the feet, this is a really, really nice way to just kind of alleviate that. And then we're going to take it forward and back. So onto the balls of the feet and the 10 toes, pressing down, and then shifting back to the heels. So we're not taking it all the way up into that heel raise, but we're just shifting forward, noticing the connection of the feet to the ground, and then taking it back. And then we're going to think about pressing down through the big toe as we take it into full heel raise. So right up onto those toes, pressing down through the big toe, and then we shift that back. Now remember that if you are stood on a mat or a carpet or something, a soft surface, it is more challenging. Okay, so if you're a little bit wobbly, then don't worry about it. You're challenging your body more. On a hard surface, it's easier. And we're aiming to find that sweet spot at the top where we can hold it without having to drop back down immediately. So we're activating through the calves, through the undersides of the feet. So really important for stability for us. And we're going to do one more of those all the way up. We lower that down and we're going to take ourselves into a single leg stance, and we're just going to circle through those ankles. So I've got the knee at the hip at about 90 degrees. And just creating those nice big full circles with the ankle. Lengthen through that supporting side, and then we rotate the opposite way. Nice big full circles. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So single leg stance, strong through the supporting side, nice big circles through that ankle. And then we take it in the opposite direction. So nice big full circles. Okay, we relax that down. We're going to widen through the feet. Sorry, we have no curtains at the moment because the sun is shining in. Okay, so nice wide feet. I'm just using this as a warm-up we did it last week and this week. We're going to just dip through the hips. So we're going to wiggle through the hips, yeah? And usually we take it into a big full circle. Today we're not. We're just dipping through one side and then the other. So it's that hip wiggle. Now as we do it, I want you to think about keeping the rib cage and the upper body still. So it's just the movement through the hips, and the hands on the hips can really assist with that movement. Super nourishing through the hips. And then we're going to change it a little bit. So when we dip through the hip, the upper body is going to follow. So we take it over and the upper body follows. Okay, so we dip down and we tip through the upper body. So if we're carrying any tension through the inner thighs, this is really good. Also for mobility through the hips. We'll bring it back to center, and then we're going to turn one foot out and we're going to bend the knee in that direction. From there, we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to wiggle through the hips. So we dip through one side, then the other. And with this one, you can either take the upper body with you or you can keep the upper body still. It's up to you. But we're just wiggling through that. So we've got that foot turned out, slight bend through the knee, and we're wiggling through there. Okay. We bring it back to center, and then we're going to turn the other foot out. We bend through the knee, and then we wiggle through the hips. So just really good to be aware if it feels a little bit stuck or perhaps not quite a fluent movement or a very big movement. And the more we do something like this, the bigger the range we get, the easier it feels. Okay, so from there, we bring that back up. We're going to take it into a narrow stance. We're going to draw one knee to the chest. And from there, we're going to transition heel to bottom. Okay, now you can either do it through one movement like I've just done. Okay, so knee to chest, heel to bottom, or you can take the foot down to the ground between the transitions. Okay, so whatever works best for you. I really do need to get some curtains up. You just look like one glowing white person. Okay, so we've got those two options there. You either place the foot down in between and we transition between knee to chest, heel to bottom. If you would like to, if that feels pretty easy at the more challenging level, we're going to add a bit more in. Okay, and that looks a little bit like this. So we're drawing knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. We step it back, knee to the ground, hands to the sky, arms above the head. You power it up, knee to the chest, heel to the bottom. If high kneeling, if getting into a kneeling position is not for you, you can just step it back and take the hands to the sky. Okay, so it doesn't involve kneeling. So knee to the chest, heel to the bottom, step it back, knee to the ground, hands to the sky. Okay, so remember you can do any variation of this. Okay, play around with the variations I've given you and find what works for you. Okay, power it up. And we're going to switch to the other side. So on the other side, we start just by getting the body used to that movement into the chest, heel to the bottom. Now you might find it feels different from one side to the other. It might be that it's more challenging on one side with mobility. Okay, just take note of that, yeah? So again, we can either place the foot down, bring the knee to the chest, foot down, heel to bottom. Or we can transition knee to chest, straight to heel to bottom. Okay, so if we want more from this, we take the knee to the chest, heel to the bottom, we step the foot back, knee to the ground, hands to the sky. We power it up. So if you aren't able to tolerate that high kneeling or that kneeling position at the moment, you can step it right back, take the hands to the sky. You don't need to kneel. Okay, knee to the chest, heel to the bottom, step it back, hands to the sky. Power it up. Once more, heel to the bottom, step it back, hands to the sky. We power that back up and we just give those legs a nice little shake off. Okay, so brilliant, really nice. From here, we're going to take ourselves down onto the mat. So I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the mat. Okay, so from here, we're going to move through a roll down. So if you've already got down onto the mat, bring it back up into a standing position. We start strong, grounded to the feet. And we're just going to roll down through the spine. We're going to take the chin to the chest. We're going to roll down through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Okay, relaxing through the shoulders, fingertips, crown of the head. And we're grounded through the base of the big toe, base of the little toe, and the heel. And we're thinking about that hinge through the hips. To offload the back of the body a little bit, you can bend the knees. But we're just going to take a moment to relax into this position. Let go through the shoulders, the rib cage, the neck. And then we're going to bring ourselves down into the the 4-point kneeling position. So we're going to start super simple, and we're going to work through the cat-cow stretch and release. So belly button to the sky, press down through the hands, lift up through the chest bone, and then tuck the tailbone under. We move into the cow. We take the belly button down towards the ground, tailbone back, and we lift through the chest. We come all the way up. Belly button to the sky, press down through the heels of the hands, tuck the tailbone under, and then we take it belly button down, tailbone back, lift through the chest. So continue with that. If kneeling is not an option, we take it into a standing position, press the hands down onto the legs, and then we're going to do exactly the same movement with the spine, okay, but in a standing position. So belly button towards the spine, tuck the tailbone under, and then we take the tailbone back, lift through the chest. Whatever variation we're doing, we're going to do that once more. We take it all the way up, and we draw that all the way down. Okay, we settle into a neutral position, and we're going to do a little bit of work on rotation and work through glide of the rib cage. So, again, I'll just go through what we're doing in a kneeling position, and then I'll do it a variation. So, we're going to take the hand to the ear, and we're going to lead with the elbow. We'll take the elbow to the sky, and then we're going to glide the hand all the way through. Okay, so you either continue to do that or we add a little bit more in. As we take the elbow to the sky, we're going to sit the bottom halfway back towards the heels. We lift it up, we glide the hand through. So if you're not sure, just take a look at what I'm doing for a moment. Elbow to the sky, we sit the bottom back towards the heels. We lift up, we glide the hand through. Okay, so a standing variation of this would be using preferably a solid piece of furniture. Okay, and we would just take the hand and rotate and glide it through. Okay, so that's a standing version of the exercise. Okay. So we're going to do one more repetition, and then we'll switch to the other side. Okay, in fact, before we switch to the other side, we're just going to do, we haven't done this one for ages, we're going to take the hand through, we're going to glide it through, and we're going to rest the head, neck and shoulder down onto the ground. And we're just going to take a moment in this position. I quite like to reach the hand through a little bit more just to get that extra release through the shoulder. And we just take a moment to breathe and relax into the position. Amazing. From there, we draw back up and out of that, and we're going to the other side now. So we're going to take the hand to the side of the head, lead with the elbow, and we either just keep that 4-point kneeling position and take the elbow to the sky and then glide the hand through. Or, as we're taking the elbow to the sky, we sit the bottom back towards the heels. We lift up and out of that and we glide the hand through. So we take the elbow to the sky, we sit the bottom halfway back. We lift up and out of that and glide the hand through. So we're going to do one more repetition. Elbow to the sky, sit the bottom back. We lift up and out, we glide hand through. Okay, and this time we glide the hand through, we relax the head, neck and shoulder down onto the mat. You can place the head on a cushion if it's more comfortable. But the goal is to be able to relax the head, neck and shoulders onto the ground. And we're just going to take a moment to relax and to breathe. Nice big full breaths. Okay, amazing. We bring ourselves up and out of that, and we take it into a high kneeling position. So this exercise can either be done with one leg forward, okay, so around about 90 degrees at the knee, or it can be done in a standing position. Okay, so in the kneeling position, I quite like to have the top of the foot flat so I can press down through the back lower leg, and it just increases stability. Okay, from here, the same hand as the front leg, we're going to take it out in front of us and we're going to hold that position there. So we're gently scooping the tailbone under and lengthening through the spine so we feel nice and strong. Okay, from here, the other hand is going to join palm to palm, and then we're going to imagine we're opening a door and the hand comes out and round. Now, when we do this, the goal is to keep that front knee in alignment with the toes. So this isn't happening. Okay, we're opening through the hips and we're rotating that back. From here, the door closes and the palms meet, and where the direction is straighter. Length through the spine, tailbone under. We're going to go again. We open the door. So remember, we're opening through the hips. We get that nice rotation through the mid-back. We're gently pressing down through the back lower leg so we don't get any movement through there. And we're grounded through that front foot. Okay, we're going to close the door. So the palms meet together. We make sure we're nicely aligned in front. So again, this can be done exactly the same in a standing position. Okay, we open the door again. So one final time, we're going to open that out. And then we glide that back together. Brilliant. So from there, we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, so remember pressing down through that back lower leg, took the tailbone under, lengthened through the spine. The same side as the front hand, leg. The hand comes out in front of us, 90 degrees at the shoulder. This stays still. The other palm comes to meet it. And then we're going to open the door, open through the hips, and we rotate that round. Okay, the alignment of the front knee is still over the toes, it hasn't moved. And then we're going to close the door, close up through the pelvis, and everything's in that nice straight line. Okay, press down through the lower leg, we go again. Open the door, open the hips, and rotate it back. And draw it back together. Amazing. We go again, we open through the door, and then we bring it back together. And we're going to do one more of those. Open through that door. Open through the hips. Amazing. We bring that back together. Amazing. From there, we bring ourselves into the high kneeling position, toes onto the ground, and we're just going to bring ourselves up into the oh my goodness, inverted V, downward facing dog. Okay, so we lift through the knees. We're going to ease the heels down towards the ground, tailbone back, and we're pressing down and away through the heels of the hands, down into the mat, pressing away so that we're strong through those shoulders. You should feel a nice release through the calves. And then from here, we're just going to do a single heel raise, and then we switch to the other side. Now the heel that's not raising up, we're easing it down to the ground. So we're really encouraging that nice stretch and release through the calf. We're looking at strength and stability through the shoulders to maintain a good position for those shoulders. Breathe, tailbone back. And then we're going to slowly walk the feet towards us as fluently as we can. We need to come up onto those fingertips if we can, and then the end position here is that forward fold position. So the bottom bit of the roll down, we're hinging through the hips, and we're relaxing through the head, neck and shoulders, right down to the hands. If you know this position is not good for your spine, you're just going to take it up into a standing position. Okay, relax through the head, neck and shoulders, right down to the fingertips. Nice big full breath in, and then as you breathe out, we're going to restack the spine, one vertebrae at a time. So we bring it into that nice, strong, standing position. Amazing. As we've done a little bit of loading through those shoulders, we're just going to create those shoulder rolls now. Just a nice restoring movement. Just drawing forward, gliding the shoulder blades around the rib cage, up and over, and then opening through the chest. Glide forward, up and over, and opening through the chest. Amazing. Okay. So from here, we're going to take our feet shoulder width and a half apart, and we're just going to move into a squat. So we're just going to start with a nice normal squat. We sit the bottom back, the knees glide over the toes. So we sit the bottom back, but the knees glide forward, and then we power that up through the legs. Okay, engage the core, which I didn't do very well on that first squat. So strong, take it down into that squat, and then we power it back up. And you can adjust the position of the feet to what feels good for you at this moment in time. Okay, so it might be a slightly wider stance, it might be a slightly narrower stance, it doesn't matter. Slow and steady is the key with this. Okay, and if stability is the issue, you can, and I've done this before, take hold of a book. Okay, it has to have a little bit of weight behind it. And we move into that squat and we reach that forward. Sometimes just holding something in front of you as you do the squat is enough to really kind of create that extra bit of movement. Okay, so we're going to do one more squat. And then we're going to add the arms in, okay? So we're going to add some rotation. We get some nice glide through the body. So one arm, as we squat, one arm is going to come down the inside of the leg, as if it's going to touch the ground. Okay, the other hand is going to reach towards the sky. Now there's two ways we can do this. We can squat and then we can take ourselves into that position, or it can simultaneously happen, so everything works together. Doesn't have to be huge movement, okay? Work with what feels good for you, okay? Ideally, we don't want this. Remember, the squat is key. So we squat and we have that rotation with the arms. Now, I don't want you to think about whether it's you're doing it right or wrong. I want you to think about how the exercise feels for you. We're looking at fluency of movement. We're looking at kind of problem solving. Yeah, so figuring out what's the most efficient way of you doing this exercise. And it might feel really challenging for the body. That's okay. Okay, we're going to do one more on each side. Okay, really think about the power in those legs. And as we move, okay, we get to the top, we're just going to hold the hands or clasp the fingers together behind the back and open through chest. So we've got one more exercise to do in standing, a little bit of a restorative stretch and release. So just feet shoulder width apart. We're going to take one hand out to the side. Okay, now we're going to reach as far over as we can with that hand. So you can see the movements coming from the upper body. And then from there, we're going to create an arc up and over into the side bend. Okay, we arc it back and then we reach again. We reach all the way over to the side. The hand comes up and over through an arc into the side bend. The other hand, it can do whatever feels good for you. On the hip, down by the side. We reach over. We create the arc, nice and strong. Over. We go, opening up through that rib cage. And we're going to do one more of those. We reach it over. Length, 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 up and over through the arc into the side bend. We relax it down and we're going to go to the other side now. So hand out. We reach over as far as we can. We create that arc, lengthening up and over. We get that nice opening to the side of the body. And then we arc it back out to the side. We reach over. Lengthen up, up, up and over into that side bend. We bring it back. We reach it. Up, up, up and over. And then we're going to do that once more, one final repetition. Over we go. We lift that up. Up, up, and over. Brilliant. Bring that back to center, and then we'll take it back down onto the mat as efficiently as we can. And we're going to take ourselves into a seated position. Okay, so we've got those legs out in front of us, knees bent, and we're just going to turn the fingertips so they're pointing backwards. And we're setting those shoulders in a really nice position. So great if we're carrying any tension down through the arms. Okay, really good for opening out through the chest. And we're just going to hold this position for a moment. We're going to lengthen through the spine. Breathe on nice big full breaths. And then we're going to bring it into a nice tall position. We're going to straighten out through those legs. Okay, so from here we're going to do the bottom walk. It's not its official name, I've called it that, but it kind of sums it up really. So you can use the fingertips and the hands to support you if you would like. We're drawing one heel away from us and we're walking. We're lifting up through the bum cheek and walking it forward. So we glide the heel forward, we lift up through the bum cheek and we walk it forward. So you can see the fingertips and the hands are really useful to maintain length through the spine. Okay, but the goal is to be able to do it hands free. Okay, but if you feel that you're kind of not getting very good movement, take the hands off, use the fingertips down. Now we go the opposite way now. So the heel is drawing back towards us and the bum cheek is walking back. Okay, so this is incredible for the hips, incredible for the lower back and pelvis, really good for our glutes. Okay, so it might feel super easy, it might not. Okay, regardless, it's a great exercise to do. So we're walking that bottom back. Okay, place the hands down behind you flat. Just give the pelvis and the legs a little wiggle, just to rest them up a little for a moment. And we're going to do one more repetition. Okay, so we lengthen through the spine. We shift it forward. So glide the heel forward, lift the bottom up, and then we walk that bottom forward. Remember, we can either lift the hands off or use the hands to support us. But we're looking at nice length through the movement. Okay, and then once you hit a certain point, we're going to take it back. So the heel glides towards us. We walk the bottom back. Remember, we're not rushing it. It's about length. That nice length through the spine. Nice walks, long walks back. And then you relax it there. Amazing. Okay, good. We're going to draw one leg towards us. And with the other foot, we're going to turn the toes in and then out. So you should, as you do this, you should see the kneecap moving side to side. And what that means is the movement is coming from the hip. We call this the deep clean of the hip. A really easy but super nourishing exercise for the hip. Remember to maintain that length through the spine. Use the arms around the supporting leg to support the spine. And we're just turning those toes in and out. And we're going to switch to the other side. So draw the other leg towards us, we put that knee, and then the leg that's out straight, we're drawing the foot in and out, and we should get some nice movement in and out with that knee, and we're getting some great movement through that hip. Nice rotation. Okay, from here, we're going to take our legs into a crossed position, lengthen through the spine, and we're just going to relax the hands down onto those legs. And we're going to just do a little bit of stretch and release through the neck. We're going to take the chin to the chest, creating length through the back of the neck. We're going to start with semicircles and then we'll progress it on. So we're going to roll the ear to the shoulder and then roll it back to center and then take it in the opposite direction into shoulder. So if we get a bit of clumping and clicking, that's okay. We're looking at release through the joints of the neck, but also from a muscular and fascial level, so that connective tissue, we're looking at creating that nice release through the neck, down into the shoulders. So you either keep it as a semicircle, or if you want a little bit more from this, we take that neck back and roll it round. So we're creating a full circle. Now, once we've reached back to center, we go in the opposite direction. So ear to the shoulder, glance to the sky, roll that neck back and around so we create that nice full circle. And we're going to do one more in each direction. Now, if you are semicircling, you either continue or you can just rest it from there. One more final repetition. Create a nice circular movement of the neck. Amazing. We bring it back up to center. We're going to take both hands to the sky. We scissor the arms. This front hand comes across the body onto the outside of the opposite leg. The back hand comes down behind us. And we're just using the hands as a bit of overpressure to ask for that rotation of the spine. We glance over to our back shoulder. We breathe out a nice big full breath. And then we draw back to center. We're going to go the opposite way. So hands to the sky, scissor them. The front hand comes across to the outside of the opposite leg. The back hand comes down behind us. And we're looking over to the back shoulder, getting that nice rotation through the spine. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a shoulder exercise and then we'll take it onto our back. First of all, the shoulder exercise we're going to do, we're going to take ourselves down onto our tummy. Okay, so throughout the sessions, there's always a little bit of consistency with exercises. So this has been one that we've done over the last few weeks. So we're going to take our glance down towards the mat to place the neck in a neutral position. We're trying not to overextend it by looking ahead. Now, the arms are going to come down by our sides. Okay, we're going to squeeze through the glutes a little bit to stabilize the pelvis. And then we're going to hold the hands behind our back. Okay, now we can either keep it here or we can glide them further up the back, whatever works for you. Okay, the first exercise we're going to do, okay, so we're looking down towards the ground. We're going to lower the shoulders down towards the ground. And then we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together and lift the shoulders up towards the sky. Okay, so remember we've got that gentle squeeze through the glutes. Shoulders move in the direction of the ground. Then they lift up towards the sky. The shoulders move down towards the ground. So we're engaging everything through the back of the body here. We're really working through the shoulders. We take the shoulders to the sky. And we're going to do that once more. Shoulders down to the ground. Shoulders up to the sky. Okay, and then one final exercise. We bring the arms back up. And we have them so they're kind of 90 degrees at the shoulders and 90 degrees at the elbow. We're going to take our thumbs up. We're going to make a thumbs up. So again, just focus on a nice neutral neck position, a little squeeze through the glutes to stabilize the pelvis. Now we're going to take our thumbs up towards the sky. And then we lower that down. Okay, we take the thumbs up towards the sky. We take the thumbs or the hands down. Okay, thumbs up towards the sky. If you're a little bit unsure, just take a look at the video. Arms back down, a little squeeze through the glutes. One final repetition, thumbs to the sky. And then we relax that down. From here, we draw little hands in towards us. We push up and out of that position, and we're just sitting the bottom back into the child's pose position. Just taking the bottom back towards the heels. We put those arms out in front of us, or you can modify this to feel good for you. It may be that you draw the arms down by your side, or to offload the knees a little bit, it might be that you lift your bottom away from the heels and you rest your head on your hands. Whatever works. We just take a moment in this position to breathe out nice big full breaths. As we breathe in, we're just imagining we're filling our body with air, right down to our pelvis, and then as you breathe out, we're just letting go of any tension we're holding on to and relaxing the body down to the ground. Amazing. Okay, from here we're going to take ourselves down onto our back. And we're just going to hook the knees to the chest, give them a little wiggle, massage that lower back into the mat. We're going to take hold of either the lower legs or the ankles or feet, and we're just going to encourage those knees to move out to the side. So if you are in a curled up position with this, the goal is to be able to relax down through the head and neck and shoulders and to ground the pelvis. Amazing. Okay, so from here we're going to lower one leg down and we straighten the leg and ground the hip. We're using the opposite hand to the knee that's drawn to the chest. We're going to draw the knee across the body. Now this exercise, we usually do it as a static hold, so we hold a position, but today we're not, okay? So the knee draws across the body, the other arm comes out to the side. Okay, so there's two ways where we can transition to the next side, okay? We either place the foot down and we switch and we create a nice fluent transition over to the other side. So we roll back to center, we place the foot down and we switch and over we go to the other side. Yeah, nice release through the glutes. Alternatively, if we want to add a little bit more engagement, we roll back to the center, we keep the leg up and we lift the other one, switch, okay, and then we take it over to the side. Okay, so arms out to the side, we use the leg as a lever, we roll back to center, we lift the other leg up and we switch. Okay, so we're thinking core engagement for fluency, for efficiency, and we take that over to the side. Grounded through the shoulder. Okay, so you either place the foot down when you roll back to center, or the other leg lifts up to meet, and then we switch, and then over we go. Okay, so we're going to do one more of those. And then we're going to ground both feet and we're going to work through the shoulder bridge. Okay, so the first thing we do is scoop the tailbone under, flatten lower back to the mat, and then we're going to lift the pelvis up to the sky, squeeze through the glutes at the top, and then we roll that back down, one vertebrae at a time. Okay, and then we do it again. Scoop under, Lift the pelvis, the sky, squeeze through the glutes at the top, and then roll it down. Okay, so you either keep it as it is, or we're going to stagger the stance of the feet. So we draw one heel towards the bottom, and we step the other leg out. So they're a staggered stance, and we do exactly the same. We scoop the tailbone under, we lift the pelvis to the sky, we squeeze through the glutes, and then we roll it back down. Okay, if you're getting any cramping through the hamstring, just take it back to the normal shoulder breathe. Scoop under, lift the pelvis to the sky, squeeze through the glutes at the top, and we roll it back down. Okay, we're going to do one more on this side. Scoop under, take the pelvis to the sky, squeeze through the glutes, and then we roll it back down. We're going to switch to the other side. So the other heel draws to the bottom, and we step foot out. Okay, so just swap it around. And then we're going to go again. Scoop under, lift the pelvis to the sky, squeeze through the glutes at the top, and then we roll it down. So make sure both feet are grounded throughout the exercise. We scoop under, lift the pelvis to the sky, squeeze through the glutes at the top, and then we roll it back down. And then we're going to do that once more. Scoop it under, lift it up, squeeze through the glutes at the top, we roll it down. We're going to hug both knees to the chest, give them a little wiggle, massage that lower back into the mat. And then we're going to take ourselves into a nice, comfortable position wherever that may be. So you don't have to stay perfectly still. You can move and stretch, but the goal is to just take a moment to focus on our breathing pattern. This is the Tuesday evening class, so really a really nice way to just unwind through the body, through the nervous system, and just allow the body to take a state of calm. So a nice comfortable position. Just notice the connection of the body to the ground. And then we're going to take our focus onto our breath and our breathing pattern. So we really want to work on creating a deep, relaxed breath. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine you're filling your body with air, right down to the pelvis, just like a balloon. So we get a nice expansion out through the rib cage, and we get a gentle rise through the tummy. And then with your breath out, we're just going to allow the body to relax down into the mat, letting go of any tension. And subtly, I want you to just increase the length of your breath out. So we breathe in deeply, and we breathe out completely. Nice, long, grounded breath out. And just remaining in that relaxed state. We're just going to notice any sound around us. Notice any sensations on the skin. Whether that's a breeze, whether it's warm. And just allow the breath to find its natural pattern, so it shouldn't be forced. And we're just going to take 4 of our deepest breaths in, and that nice, strong, deep breath out. And we're just going to give our fingers a wiggle, our toes a wiggle. Just take a moment to move in a way that would be most beneficial for you right now, or you can stay perfectly still and breathe. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves into that seated position. We're going to place those hands down behind us, pop those legs out in front of us. A couple of nice, big, full, deep breaths to finish. And we are done. And just it.